before. One zipped off the circuit there, that was Gary Brazier. And we've now watched the field screaming through turn 4. Here comes Brooke Tatnell now, almost coming up to put a lap on some of those slower cars already as he sweeps the car in through turns 1 and 2. Got very sideways there, Tatnell driving as hard as he can though, as he bumps the Phil Chevy down the back straight.
10 Speedway each year, there's a group of people that have made Parramatta their home. They are the fanatical Turn 1 judges. Their founder, president and spokesman is a man his disciples worship. Meet Barry Cooper.
Oh, well, we're just a team of enthusiasts that follow the sprint cars around, and of course crashes are part of the game, but with the safety in these motor vehicles, there's not a lot of danger to the driver. Injuries do occur, and that's part of the game. I think the drivers accept that, but we don't come along just to watch the crashes. We sort of got a set of scorecards from 1 to 10, and we score them on that, on the basis of the way they crash, I guess. The positioning on the track, if it's right in front of us, they get a bonus. We don't have to turn our head too far to look. And it's just a bit of a gimmick we've got going up there, and I think the only ones that like it are us, but anyhow, we get a bit of fun out of it. We pay to get in, we're entitled to our opinion, so I guess we're not hurting anybody too much.
The biggest crash that you've seen here in the 14 years that the circuit's been in operation?
Oh, mate, I'd put them in different categories: altitude, damage. I think Trevor Shields would take out the damage one when he dropped the back wheel and dug in and turned her over in turn 1 down there. It just happened to be the last meeting of the season, and we give him a bonus point for that because it was an enormous prang, and he got out of it okay. But it saved his pit crew with the trouble of pulling the car to pieces at the end of the season. We thought that was brilliant thinking, you know. And I suppose the altitude, it had to be between the Professor. He went as high as the lights over here on turn 3 a few years ago with Rob Worthington. And the other one would be Stan Wallace. I think Stan had some of the biggest accidents I've ever seen in my career in any form of motorsport. I think he went to Vietnam. I tell you what, mate, I think he had more action in the sprint car than he ever got in Vietnam. Too many cigarettes, mate. He said, let's go to the speedway one night, and I thought, oh, you'd have to be a billy goat, you know, getting covered in dirt. But anyhow, I decided to go along one night, and I was instantly hooked, and that was about 1958, and I've just followed it since then. It just hooked me. I've followed every form of motorsport there is. I like the road racing motorcycles, but anything else on the tar leaves me cold. I think I could have more fun watching the freeway up here, but it's just follow the leader, and it just doesn't excite me. I think they pack more action into 10 minutes, a 20-lap feature race on these things than you'd ever get in blooming 50 laps of road racing.
All right, what about great drivers that have pioneered this sport? Is there any one driver in particular that stands in your mind as being a favourite?
Oh, I'd say Gary Rush for sure. He's had his ups and downs. He's having a pretty bad season at the moment, but he'll bounce back, I'm sure of it. The Yanks sold him a dud car, I think. But, oh no, there's a few over the years. I remember a bloke called Zeke Agars. He used to drive 6-cylinder cars around Adelaide, and that when he came over here, he gave him a bit of a fright. Another fella called Jeff Wicks. Years ago, that's when the old-style modifieds were going with the old overhead valve Fords. I thought he was pretty good, Jeff Wicks. I don't know what happened to him. But then, of course, they come up with Britton and Warner and that, and they've progressed to where they are now. And I think anybody who gets in a feature race today is a good driver, even if they start from the back through the B main, as Dumsy did. No, I honestly don't believe there's a crook driver around. They've all got more heart than I got anyhow, I can tell you.
What about Tatnell and Brazier?
Brazier's a good driver, extremely good driver, no doubt about it. I still reckon he's better looking than George. But you can't knock George. He's been in the game as long as Rush. I remember his first drive out at Windsor, and I remember Rush's first drive at Westmead. And they've just progressed to the point where they are the leaders in the sport, I think. Anybody that can follow them has got a pretty good act going, I think. I think Rush is superior, but George isn't far behind, and of course Brazier, on and off, but when he's on, mate, he's on. No one will beat him when he's on.
Value for money? You'd rate it as good value for money?
Oh, mate, value for money, you can't beat it. Myself personally, I guess every other sprint car fan, there's not another sport in the world that could compare with it. And it's outdoor. I guess it's healthy. We're next door to a refinery here, but I love the smell of fuel anyhow, so it doesn't matter.
Is there anything wrong with sprint car racing? What needs to be done to further improve it?
Oh, that's a good question. Really, I can't see a lot. I suppose you could bag promoters and all that, but no, I wouldn't bag anybody involved in speedway. I love the sport. I think you could do without a little less gimmickry, I'd say. I don't come out to watch marching girls or fireworks displays and that. I just like, well, sprint car racing with a support program, I guess. I can't think of anything. No, I think we're going the right way. Maybe it's getting a bit expensive for the drivers. That'd be the only problem I could see.
Sprint car racing in one word?
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. No risk. The best.
One man that Barry and race fans Australia-wide flock to see is two-time Winfield ASC and current Australian sprint car champion Max Dumsy. Simply one of the gutsiest drivers ever to pull on a balaclava.
3 and 4, comes up the main straightaway once more. There goes Max Dumsy around the outside of George Tatnell. Dumsy started from 15 and now moves up to 3rd and is now going to start pressing the American Danny Smith. What a sensational driver Dumsy. Won the Australian sprint car title in Tasmania a few weeks ago. Here comes Dumsy. He rounds up Danny Smith on the outside and Dumsy now takes 2nd. A superb effort from Dumsy, running up high on the racetrack. Has the John Sydney Valvoline sprinter working overtime. Look at Dumsy, drops the right rear wheel over the cushion. This guy's an absolute hero, Dumsy. Rockets around the outside, absolutely no fear in his pursuit of race leader Jack Hewitt. Oh, there's trouble. There's going to be a stoppage with 2 laps left to run. That's Max Dumsy's chance. Skip Jackson's gone around sideways very uncharacteristically in the number 11 Gambler, and as a result now a full race restart coming up. Oh, that's exactly what Max Dumsy was looking for. You've got to feel sorry for Jack Hewitt. He'd cleared out. What a sensational drive Max Dumsy for position 15. Is now in 2nd spot and definitely has a real hope of winning this grand final. Of course, he's already stitched up the series. He's 2nd in succession. Here we go racing now with 2 laps to go. The crowd on their feet as Jack Hewitt leads the field going down the main straightaway. Race cars bicycling through turn 4. They're up the main straightaway. Here comes Dumsy. He rounds up Jack Hewitt on the outside, and Dumsy, to the delight of the large crowd, has gone to the lead in a sensational passing manoeuvre. Dumsy with 1 lap to go will win the grand final, I think. Jack Hewitt, though, fighting back on the inside. Oh, I've never seen a better motor race as Dumsy goes down the back section of the circuit for the last time. 2 circuits left to negotiate. Hewitt's still there, but Max Dumsy's going to win. A phenomenal performance from Max Dumsy as the fireworks erupt here. Dumsy victorious from Jack Hewitt and George Tatnell. What a race.
Max, sprint car racing in 1991. Do you believe, like me, that it's certainly on a boom period at the moment in this country?
Yeah, for sure. The ASC series has proved that, and I think we're going to look for bigger and better things with more and more Americans coming out because there's more prize money and everything like that. I think it'll be great.
What about your NASCAR endeavours? You successfully mixed sprint car racing with NASCARs. You've said to me before that you can't compare the exhilaration of driving a sprint car to a NASCAR. Does that still apply in Max Dumsy's mind?
Oh, not totally, because I've got the car going a bit faster now and it feels a bit better. Before we weren't going all that quick, but now to go an extra half a second a lap quicker in an NASCAR, you're really going a lot quicker through the turns and it feels nice now.
Prize money's not bad either, just quietly.
No, it's okay.
The only Dumsy stealing headlines around sprint car circles in the 90s. 26-year-old Melinda, mother of 2, has emerged as one of the nation's most consistent drivers. There is no doubt Melinda adds style and glamour to a sport long dominated by men.
The black CR&D number 77. Keep your eyes peeled towards the back of the pack with Rush, Tatnell, Hewitt, Haywood and March. March already up into 3rd place. The rest of the guys follow suite.
Rush outside, Hewitt going with him.
A great battle back in the pack. Brooke Tatnell being left a little in the rears. But look at Rush around the outside. Comes up to Brad Haywood. It didn't quite work. Then Hewitt back, ducks in on the inside. 3 abreast as they come out of turns 3 and 4. And Hewitt thwarts Rush's attempts down the outside. Sensational stuff midfield. In the meantime, the little lass of the field, Melinda Dumsy, leads them down into turns 3 and 4. Hewitt, Tatnell and Rush going back at it again, and Brad Haywood is the big mover in the field up to 2nd place as he goes round. Motorcycle champion Stephen Dolan from Tatnell has moved in field.
Bill March went outside. That gave Hewitt the chance he wanted to come back. Hewitt slows dramatically and is out of the race. Jackie Hewitt goes to the pits.
I think that won't open up a few doors as Brooke Tatnell looks as though he's going to be heading back towards the finish closure as well. And Brooke holds it up right on the curve. In the meantime, it is Melinda Dumsy with 5 racing laps to go, half race distance. Brad Haywood has his sights set on Little Miss Powerfoot. And Brooke Tatnell not looking in good shape as he heads down into turn 1.
Bill March down the back straightaway, and on his tail is Rush off the circuit into the wall, not upside down, but certainly enough to bring out the caution lights. Andy getting set to run off the remaining laps. Belinda out in front.
Certainly does. As she's done, both restarts has let it out. Brooke Tatnell again limps to the green flag, looking for points in this one as young Brooke Keep your eye on Rush, 2WS Australian #1 as he goes on the wide line through turns 3 and 4, coming up to South Australia's Phil March on the inside of March, and Rush is marching towards the lead. His next victim or opponent, you could say, would be Stephen Gall in the Carrera #26 car. Tatnell still limping around the outside of the track. Rush has to let off the gas to get past. Melinda Dumsy, Stephen Gall, Gary Rush, Phil March in the top 4, and really the only contention here at the moment. Rush still making ground on Gall. On the outside goes Rush, he likes it up nice and wide, and round the outside he's going to try. Stephen Gall, the next victim is Lone Star GR, goes round the outside. It's not happening here as the white flag will be borne out this time around, and Brooke Tatnell could play a part here as Gary Rush squeezes between Gall and Tatnell, and looks as though he'll move up into second position. Gall putting up the fight of his life. 2 more turns to consolidate, and it is the little lass of the field, Melinda Dumsy, to take heat #6.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm still pretty excited myself. This is my first trophy in all my years of racing, and I'm very pleased.
How long have you been racing now?
I started when I was 19, and so I'm 27 now. So I've been at it a few years, yes, but I took time off to have the children. So, but to be competitive, you've got to be at it constantly. Otherwise, you're not on the pace, and you're not up with it.
Is this the biggest thrill of your career thus far?
Yes, so I'm a little disappointed because I missed the start. The start means everything, and they let it go, and I sort of wasn't on for the start because I thought it was going to be rerun, and they let it go.
Linda is not the only woman hooked on the thrill of sprint car racing. Mary Ann Smith has seen almost as many races as Gary Rush and George Tatnell combined.
But I have been fortunate to be on the committee for quite a few years, and the off-season is when you're doing all the work ready for the oncoming season. So, yeah, you still have a lot of involvement. Actually, you work quite hard in the off-season when you're an official. People don't realise that behind the scenes, everything's happening, getting ready for the crowd on the hill for when October comes and we all go racing.
What driver, in your view, has made the most major contribution to the development of sprint car racing?
Every driver who has ever put his backside into a seat has made a contribution to sprint car racing. I would never ever say there was any one particular driver. People like Gary Rush, who's won the title so many times, that's very good. In our own club, every single member, people like Bob Tux and George Tatnell, who have been around the same time as me. But then there's the newer driver who look up to these people. Yeah, over recent years, the older drivers have been able to give the new drivers a lot more experience and information, and be able to help them, because they are the ones that are out there racing with them, and they don't want to have their cars mangled or wrecked, so they are quite willing to help the new drivers settle down and learn about the track. So I don't say you could say any one particular person. All sprint car drivers have contributed to making sprint car racing wonderful.
The pits of the sprint car show are a far cry from the glamour associated with Formula One. The dedicated crews are mostly unpaid, voluntary mechanics. Men like Steen Sorensen travel more ground each year than Burke and Wills ever dreamed of. For Steen Sorensen, a cold beer and involvement with the Winfield Team Tatnell, according to Steen, is what life is very simply all about.
In a lot of ways, sprint cars, both drivers and crews and everybody, it reminds me of the days in karting, and I have a fairly big involvement in motorsport, and I've never seen the camaraderie. If we break a push bar, or we break a steering arm or a wing, someone will always come over and give you a wing, and it was the same in karts, and it's really great when you're away, and everybody's on budgets, but they always seem to lend something to the other guy to keep him out on the track.
Sprint car racing in one word?
Marriage.
Gilman Rush But as of yet, not making any calls on pressure on Black Speeder. The girls had a problem. Girls got narrow and slowly. He gets what's going to be ducking completely straight for the points. And the pressure to lead off the way to give it. Just to the left on speed for Ego. Following up now. Swings to the outside and takes over second. Back in position 4. Black strikes out now with Wayne Skipper. He's getting on the 20. Back row. Oh, okay, rocket, welcome. That's the back of it. Sorry. They swept down the next second. She's down the way. What's the goal? Here's the story.
The opportunity of moving somewhat closer. Also, I can see George Tatnall emerging from the pack there. But Brooke Tatnall is absolutely screaming as he goes down the main straightaway the first occasion with 24 laps left ahead of them. Bob Hunt's back in second. But have a look at Brooke Tatnall go as he spread eagles down the back straightaway. He has the Chevy engine absolutely screaming as he goes through turns 3 and 4. And up the main straightaway, about 8 car lengths in advance of Bobby Hunt, who's in second. He's running marginally ahead of George Tatnall now, who's gone by Robert Farr. And have a look at George Tatnall getting the front wheels up on the ground as he now blasts his way down the back section of the circuit. He's a veteran of 30-odd years in this sport, George Tatnall. A great driver. He'll be applying plenty of pressure. Bob Hunt, who also is a very experienced driver. Robert Farr to 17 in contrast. He's back in fourth and best of the rest. Brooks Hatnell doing it nicely though as he enters the main straightaway once more. A great battle starting to develop now between Bob Dunks and also George Hatnell. Rod Bowen, Brad Haywood as the field pours off turn 4. Oh, one tipped off the circuit there. That was Gary Brazier. And we've now watched the field streaming through turn 4. Here comes Brooks Hatnell now, almost coming up to put a lap on some of those slower cars already as he switched the car in through turns 1 and 2. Got very sideways there. Hatnell driving as hard as he can though as he thumps the Phil Chevy down the back straightaway. The big Winfield Gambler going through turns 3 and 4 and up the main straightaway once more. Brooks Hatnell is going to be lapping these cars very shortly. Bob Trunk now has all sorts of problems because George Hatnell, the number 5 car, is starting to move considerably closer, and young Robert Farr is starting to pack on as well. Great battle here in second, third and fourth. However, the orange time to ignite the field as we come on turn number 4, and it is Rush! Race into turn number 1. Here it is a second. Here's gorgeous George biting with him sideways and all sorts of things. Bobby Allen comes into that one. Jackson next is Jackson Smith, the United States. And coming out of the top third down the front straightaway. And young Mason, Terry Madison holding down a good line. Bobby Johnson one back behind them. Stephen Arrigo is the next one. Brooks Hatnell coming out of the back. And still in the car on the field. By one though. And of course, it's going through on the inside. Pecule takes the lead. One shot around sideways up on the top corner. That's Skip Jackson who spun it, looped it on the infield, and we've got one going every which way in Brooks Hatnell. They come down the front straight away, they're going to leave. Jackson's car on the infield is now halfway. As you can see, Hewitt will lead down the back straight with Gary Rush. Bobby Allen of the United States, George Hatnell, over the racing line that time. Get it out towards getting it right. Back up again, good job. Danny Smith is one sitting back behind them, then Terry Hampton. Bobby Johnson, Stephen Arrigo, the next one, Wayne Skipper. This young Colin Farrell, Max Dumsy, starting to get through the pack. Starts to make it now. Down the front straight away, it's Ken Hewitt in front, and he is pulling through in the lead, not only in the straight, but in the series. Two laps should see Hewitt start left the slow car. Now the scientist with the wrong third, second, third, or Big Allen is starting to close in a little long run. Rocky Field is not making an impression on Jackie Stewart. Coming ahead to slow down Stewart, but at the moment he's running hot. He's running and he did early in the time. He's in record breaking. The distance of the 21 car responding. They get all the back straight away. Now Stewart's closing about together with the person. Brooks Hatnell one of them. And it's Allen starting to pick away at the time of Gary Rush on straight away. Back to the home straight away. Stewart is now for the tail end. They go to some far. Allen's lady chilled on the inside of Rush. Rush trying to hold the center track. The second inside. The New America running 1-2 in round 7 of the Woodfield Series. Now, number 4. Then of course there's Bobby Allen from Pennsylvania running in second spot. They go down the back straight. Hewitt really just climbing his run through the field superbly. Allen, if anything, is not even going to close to Hewitt, so they don't jump scrapping. Rush doing it in third place, and there goes the leader. Big field, big shape. Peter Clark leads them down. Brandon Haywood on the inside. Starting down to the wing number 46. And here comes Jerry's leader. Max Dumsy doing the battle lead. Car number 5. The three of them look down the straight away. Only 2 qualifying groups tonight's main event, and Clark Dumsy here. Haywood has a look on the inside. Which brings back Clark out wide. Here comes back at right inside. That's right on his house. They walk down first 1 and 2. They got down inside, and Haywood inside. Well, Haywood side by side down the back straight away. It's the 3-4. Haywood comes away and slips it. He doesn't jump right. Series leader Dumsy and Dumsy moves up. The team is number 2. Keep in mind, folks. Haywood Dumsy doing a nice down one from back. And he comes on, picking out the road to the middle, straight goes down the back, straight away, to rest the field. Just down right, one action up front. Hey, what comes on the inside? The race is going, he's working on the it's not get up, he's on Hayward. He said, right ball, and out, straight away. That's back, putting the devil to the middle, around the back, straight away. Down the back, straight away, goes forward. Take the control. It's down here for there. It's happy so. Got my head. Got a slow firing and they should prove it can be done. Saying what he said, they're like 1990, 91 season. He looks from the outside, comes back on the inside, out number 68. Round the outside, exits it in. Round the outside, doesn't no problem. One so it does. Haywood's looking to follow. Looks like Johnny's up. Haywood to follow. Haywood to the next main event. Haywood is going up and then gets down back straight away. Haywood just 3 and 4. Nine, Garfield up with the $19 of $20 here. Number 32, 2001, the captain had on a short of ground, trying to keep the machine burning on the Dunsy. White flag, top, one, last go. It looks like Dunsy and then will probably through the field. We try to beat the 4 pounds, no struggle. Walking down the back, straight by Dunsy. Not even up with all this, still going to crack a jack. And he's the series leader, and Max Dumsy. Gary West going up 2-1, and front wheels off the deck there from Stephen Gore as he sloshes on the inside of Gary West. Across turns 3 and 4 they race now. Stephen Gore into the third running. West still in that position 4. And Phil Martin from South Australia looking for the run through on the inside. But Gary West has got a bold supply of horsepower. And the number 90 captain, Brooke Tandle, slicing the field up to the back in count for 8. Slams by on the inside now. About to give Phil Martin the message of Rocket Rod in all sorts of 75 car. And the order is checked by Gary West. And on the South Australia gets into the bubble there. Through goes Brooke and George Tandle. Another 10 lap, peak number 3 in Enfield ASC here at PCR tonight. Peter Atta, the first to get out of the gates. Down the back straightaway, you control blanket over the rest of them. And Litigants get tied up as they go down the back straightaway. Keep your eye on the back. Markers in this one, they give you the ones to watch. Here comes Hayward mounting a challenge already. Skip Jackson, car number 99. Sid Moore. Great driving there by Moore to get underneath him. Skip Jackson, Cole Fast in there, but it's Peter Atta, Don Shaw. More Sydney drivers leading this one. Kerry Madsen, one of the flat packers in there in car number 29. That's in third place. Just recently, one of the PCR main events is hot in third position. The battle for first between Peter Atta and Shaw. Atta goes out wide. Here comes Shaw in the red number 66. Down the back straight away. Flying as they get into turn 3 and Atta it's much win. Atta doesn't quite have it over. Max Dumsy, sorry, number 5, and Steve Regan, all the territory on the outside, and George Castle and Gary Rush in the rear. 10 laps the journey. The action is on. Wings into Wingship action 2. Turns 1 and 2 they race now, and Gary West with the horsepower and car number 90 staying abreast now of Wayne Skipper. As Ivan Hawkes looks for the run to the inside, but West is gone. West is gone, picked up by both. Okay, 86. Peter Craft takes the lead and racing once again now over on the back section of the circuit. Wayne Skipper, the number 24 car, back in second, and Rod Bowen has cleaned us through from the back of the pack. Levi But they're working hard on the ball and Peter Craft up in the front of the 86 car and going away from the back now. Arrigo goes to the outfield and both the catch lane right. Anderson jumped to the outfield by tackle and line down and 5 remaining in with Wayne Skipper. Assists on that inside line. Dumsy sees an open gang to turn 3. Runs the bench straight on the inside. Gets the front balls off the left. Right in and out. Second time in 2 weeks. Carry cut. Yeah, I'll start it out with one car. So right, we got the car. Getting the line, PSC, Max Dumsy, no ball. Continue to reach the power. You've been talking up the line. I got the running to balance speed. Walk around the line just
Sprint car drivers are a unique species, dedicated, fierce and brave. They drive the ultimate racing machines at incredible speed on very often daunting racetracks. Men like Gary Rush enjoy a parochial following almost comparable to the likes of Peter Brock and Wayne Gardner. Sprint car racing is a special brand of motorsport, patronised by thousands of adoring fans who would rather not be anywhere else in the world. Their world is four-wheeled thunder.